Well, welcome to Fryerning Fisheries. We're back down here. We visited the place a couple of years ago. It's come on leaps and bounds since. The fish are just growing and growing. It's actually recently done a 53 pounder. So we thought we'd pop back and see how the place is getting on in general. And whilst we're here, I thought I'd have a little dabble on the car park lake. Lots of fish in here, lots of doubles, lots of 20s. Perfect for somewhere to come and get a few bites, hone your rigs. Or also ideal for this. You can creep round, bait up a few spots. When the fish are feeding in the margins, it tends to cloud up quite a bit, so you know you can see they're there. So you can wander around, bait up half a dozen spots, and then just go around and fish them each individually. And I'm sure doing that, you could have some cracking days fishing. Well, there we go, cracking little common. Fought like an absolute demon. Great bit of sport. Let's pop him back and go and have a look around the rest of the place. Corker.
The main lake at Fryerning is 18 acres in size and contains over 100 30s and 8 40s, as well as the recently caught 53. There's a lodge on site where anglers can drink tea and coffee and of course talk carp. There's some awesome fish on the complex, as is shown here in some of the amateur footage gathered over the past year. Of the 40s, 2 are commons and 1 is a leather. The complex as a whole is completely secure with CCTV cameras dotted around. There's 2 car parks, so a barrow walk to your swim is never too much of a stress. The main lake is of course the jewel in the Fryerning crown, but both the valley and the car park lakes are well worth checking out. Valley Lake itself holds between 100 and 150 20s as well as 6 30s, whilst the smaller car park lake has 40 20s and 3 30s. Very impressive statistics. A complex like Fryerning doesn't just happen overnight though. It's the result of many years of hard work, but it's now that it's really starting to pay off. Chris, Charlie and the other members of the Fryerning team should be congratulated on creating an awesome fishery, one that's the envy of many. There's a range of tickets available on each or all of the lakes, so get on the website for a full list of all your options.
This is the Valley Lake behind me, another cracking little lake on the complex. Massive head of 20s in there and a good head of 30s too. Some real chunks and some real pristine fish. Done a couple of days down here doing the quarter tour with Daryl. It's a fantastic little water if you wanted to sort of start to up your game. So you want to move on from the sort of typical day ticket type lake onto somewhere like there. It's a sort of ideal place. You can learn how to use a marker float, learn what spots work and why, and everything about it really. Great head of fish, some fantastic sort to be had and a great learning water too. Right, here we are on the main lake. This is modern day carp fishing at its best. Chris has developed this over the years to be one of the best waters in Essex, and well, you've only got to look at the stock to see that he's achieved what he wanted to. Done a 53 last week. The Germ, that fish is just packed on weight. So have all the others, to be honest with you. Some of the other big ones haven't been out for a couple of months, so you know there's a lot of excited anglers around here hoping they might hook into one of them. It's got a massive head of 40s now. I'm not even sure about the exact number because there's so many upper 30s that are pushing that 40-pound barrier, especially this time of year. Because it has got such a big head of big fish in it, it's one of those places when you hit everything right, you can have some absolutely awesome results. Quite often people have 4, 5, 6 30s in a session. You know, where else can you go and get that? The other great thing about the place, you know, it's totally secluded, well away from any footpaths and dog walkers. You know, really peaceful, and you can just worry about your angling and not have to worry about any security or anything like that. It's quite an interesting lake. There's lots of different sort of features to go at. Down the far end there's quite shallow, sort of averages sort of 4 or 5 foot. Coming up this end, this is a down wall, so obviously you've got a lot deeper water in front of here. An island over the back there with a nice shallow bay behind it. I know the fish love to get in there in the summer. You've got this nice bay here, it's sort of weed lined. You get pads come up in here. So, you know, lots of different sort of spots to go for. The fish will move around with the weather, with pressure, so, you know, you can catch them all over the lake. If you did fancy a little bash at Fryerning yourself, there are a few tickets available, but you have to be quick because they don't hang about long. Comes well recommended from me. I always like to pop up here a few times in the year to have a go for some of them awesome fish, and I'll definitely be back this winter. Which reminds me, you can also get a 6-month ticket, so if you did fancy a little go during the winter months, well worth getting in contact.